Where do you think you're going? The voice, a low velvet whisper laced with ice, cut through the pulsing bass of the party. I froze, my hand inches from the dorm room doorknob. He was here, of course he was here. I turned slowly, a rehearsed smile plastered on my face. Lachlan Ashford leaned against the opposite wall, a chillingly still point in the chaos of dancing bodies. He was only looking at me. Lock, I said, my voice a little too bright. I was just getting some air. He pushed off the wall, moving toward me with that predatory grace that always made my stomach clench. The crowd parted for him as if by instinct. You've had enough air, he said, his eyes scanning my dress, lingering for a moment on the hand of the boy I'd been dancing with just minutes before. He reached me, his fingers wrapping around my wrist, not tight, never tight enough to leave a mark, just an inescapable claim. We're leaving, the party's just getting started. I protested weakly, a pathetic final stand for a freedom I never really had. He leaned in, his lips brushing against my ear, sending a shiver down my spine that was equal parts terror and something else I refused to name. The party is over, he murmured, his other hand coming up to cup my jaw, tilting my face to his. We're 18 now, Isla, you can't run from this anymore. And then he kissed me right there in the middle of the crowded room, a kiss that wasn't about affection, but about ownership, a brutal, beautiful reminder that I was, and always would be, his. It started with a note, a stupid, folded piece of notebook paper slipped into the front pocket of my backpack. I didn't even know who it was from, some guy named Mark. Apparently, he thought my hair looked nice. He wanted to know if I'd maybe want to get a coffee after the SATs were over. I should have thrown it away the second I found it. Instead, I made the mistake of leaving it on my desk while I went to take a shower. When I came back, Lachlan Ashford was sitting on the edge of my bed, holding the small piece of paper between his thumb and forefinger as if it were a dead insect. His room was in the main house of the Ashford estate, mine was in the staff quarters, a 5-minute walk across the manicured lawn, a 5-minute walk that felt like crossing an ocean. What's this? He asked, his voice deceptively calm. I felt a familiar cold dread pool in my stomach. It's nothing, just some guy being weird. I reached for it, but he pulled it back. Mark, he read the name aloud, tasting it with disgust. He likes your hair. His eyes, the color of a stormy sea, lifted to meet mine. Do you like Mark's attention, Isla? No, I said quickly. I don't even know who he is. I was going to throw it out. He watched me for a long moment, his gaze so intense it felt like he was trying to see straight into my soul. Then, he did something that terrified me more than any shouting match could. He smiled. Okay, he said softly, standing up. He handed the note back to me. Throw it out. Then, he walked out of my room without another word. I should have been relieved. Instead, I felt like a prisoner who had just heard the warden sharpening a new set of keys. The surveillance started that night. My phone buzzed on the nightstand, a FaceTime request from Lachlan. It was 2 a.m. I answered, my heart hammering against my ribs. His face filled the screen, sculpted and perfect even in the grainy light. He was in his bed, propped up against a mountain of pillows. Go back to sleep, he said, his voice a low rumble. I blinked, confused. I was asleep. I know, he said, I just wanted to see you. He didn't hang up. He just set the phone on his own nightstand, the camera aimed at his face, an unspoken command. I had to do the same, and so began the new ritual. 24 hours a day, a video call connected us. When I was in my room, my phone had to be propped up where he could see me. I'd be doing homework, and his face would be there in the corner of my vision. Watching, I'd be sleeping, and he'd be there. I would wake up in the middle of the night, and his eyes would be open, staring out from the small screen. He wasn't sleeping. After a few days, dark circles began to bloom beneath his eyes, making him look like a beautiful, tragic panda. You look like a panda, I told him one morning, trying to make a joke of the madness. And you look like you're thinking about running off with Mark, he retorted without missing a beat, his eyes narrowing. I was afraid he was going to die from sleep deprivation. You have to sleep, Lachlan, I pleaded. Are you trying to get rid of me? He shot back, his voice sharp with paranoia. So you can sneak out and meet him? The logic was so twisted, so insane, that I couldn't even argue. This was my life, a prisoner in a gilded cage, with a warden who never slept, and the worst part? My mother, Diane, was